For my modes, I focused on glasses and how each pair represents how it changes the wearer's vision or changes how the wearer is seen. The first unit is epistemology, represented by regular, sight-correcting glasses. Glasses change how we intake information and what we perceive as true. For instance, until I got glasses last winter, I thought it was normal to not be able to read highway signs. It changes what is knowledge, at least as Bernecker described it, as justified true belief, because the inputs change, so that changes our justifications and our beliefs, which could lead to false beliefs and potentially get-ear problems. Seeing is believing, or is it? Additionally, Haraway might mention the difference from a 20/20 body to a body that needs glasses. The glasses, or lack of glasses, change perception, creating a situated knowledge. Perhaps a person with glasses has a marked perspective. In this example, glasses represent how vision might influence epistemic discovery. This unit is moral philosophy, represented by transition lenses. As you know, transition lenses change their degree of protection based on whether the wearer is indoors or outdoors. So, these glasses change the wearer's vision depending on the scenario. In a more metaphorical sense, sunlight can be seen as the cultural environment. The lens itself could represent a moral yardstick. Though the lenses are not acting according to freedom, they are part of an ethical system in this metaphor, which is a concept from Sartre. The lens has a predetermined essence, and all lenses have pretty much the same chemical makeup. But, to apply apaya, the difference in sunlight, which is representative of culture, affects how the lenses react, and to what degree of darkness they turn, which is parallel to human instinct in a morally challenging situation. This unit is historiography, represented by rose-colored glasses. Now, these rose-colored glasses are not in the traditional sense of the phrase, because they are not used in retrospect to make things look better. These rose-colored glasses represent different perspectives and how to look at history. So Scott focuses on gender and subjective identity throughout history. So her rose-colored glasses would cause her to view history differently than, say, Michael's, whose lenses would be focused on diversity, how those came to be, and how diversity is adapting in the modern era. So, like I said, these rose-colored glasses are not used for making everything look better, but rather for being able to see how things could lead to a better discourse. Everyone involved can take a look through everyone else's rose-colored glasses. The purpose this would serve would be to create a more inclusive discourse in general, and a different way of discussing both history and current affairs. This unit is textual interpretation, represented by reading glasses. Now, these glasses, unlike the others, don't change the person's sight, but rather change how the face is seen and interpreted. In this example, the glasses could be viewed as a particular sign. Saussure might make the structuralist argument that the glasses only indicate poor eyesight. However, Ansel Dua would argue that there is more to this than just a simple binary situation. There are varying degrees of necessity, how bad someone's eyesight is, whether it's just a little bit or whether they're nearly blind, and one could trace signs and signifiers continually. Perhaps the poor eyesight is because of aging or disease, etc. Lastly, the reading glasses, in the context of Barthes, the glasses could be considered a text, because there are competing meanings depending on which signifier a person latches onto. So depending on how they interpret the person's glasses, they'll probably see the person a little bit differently because of the text of the situation. Visual culture is represented by no glasses. There are no glasses on this face that I'm drawing because it represents the progression of sight. While sight is undeniably part of visual culture, I chose to focus on the glasses themselves, much like I did in textual interpretation. So, curiously, this person that I'm drawing might be visually impaired. They might be wearing contacts, they might have had LASIK surgery. One could trace the progression, a la Preziosi, from monocles to bifocals, so on and so forth. So, the glasses themselves could be deemed art or artifacts, like Panofsky's binary, or it could be in a cultural chronology that seemed to be ending with LASIK, but could be renewed by technologies such as Google Glass that makes wearing glasses cool again. And if the cultural analytics folks quantified the progression or tracked data based on degree of eyewear and country, who knows what they would say about new eyewear and how it might be affected by nations and culture. This unit is Cultural Studies, represented by sunglasses, or more specifically Ray-Bans, and I'm focusing on how they look, rather than how they affect vision. First of all, Ray-Bans are a consumer comfort, and they represent the interchangeable sameness and standardization of the cultural industry. At some point, Ray-Bans were probably undiscovered, part of a small company, and a cool hunter found them and made them into the trend that we see today. It's hard to walk down the street without seeing a pair of black Wayfarers everywhere you go. Next, if we look at the United States as an archive a la Ferguson, sunglasses are something that might be left at the door by certain individuals. Much like the hoodie, they're not a necessity necessarily, but because they cover part of the face, much like the hoodie covers the body, they could be deemed as threatening, though plenty of people wear sunglasses all the time without a problem. Now, lastly, we need to ask ourselves, in the words of the object-oriented ontologists, how do the sunglasses feel?